Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantele Francis, and I have a co-host today. I have Tamkia.
Hi, everybody.
Today.
I'm good today. Today, I'm good. As Chantele knows, I just got out of the hospital.
Yeah, I know. And so, you were planning on coming here from, to being here the whole time, but then you weren't able to come. And so we're really happy that you're well and that you're able to join us to talk about some of this nonsense that we enjoy on our TV screens.
Yes, I'm glad the summer of love.
You've been watching.
Yeah, I say
are
I'm
you
glad.
watching the UK as well or no?
No. Because I would have to VPN, and I'm just like too lazy. And then I realized trying to go through the Twitter feed, trying to go back and forth because they come on at the same time, it would be too much for me.
Well, I'll give you a way to watch it if you want to watch it that doesn't require a VPN. So just if you want to know what's going on, because it's actually, I think that US is better this season than the UK, but the UK is starting to get a little bit better. So I don't know. I'm enjoying watching them both. It gets a little bit sticky doing both of the recasts of like who's on what, who's where. But
that's what I'm worried about. I'm like, I don't want to confuse. Like, I'm pretty good with names, and I'm pretty good remembering names and situations. But I'm like, I don't want to mix up names and situations and recaps. So
yeah, absolutely. At least so none of the names except for one girl, but she's already ejected or dumped from the island. There's only one name that's the same. So it's not been that bad so far. So what have you been thinking about season 3? Have you been watching season 1, 2, and 3? Like what's your history with Love Island?
So last summer of COVID, nothing to do, stuck in my house. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a big reality fan. So I was like, I need something to watch. And I kept seeing commercials on CBS. And the person that I kept seeing on the commercial was Justine from Love Island season 2. And I was like, she is gorgeous. She's Black. She's everything. Her personality just shown off screen just from the commercials. And I was about like a few days behind already. And I was like, okay, let me go back and catch up and see if it's worth the watch. And I am so glad I did, because the season was definitely worth it. It was everything. I'm trying not to get as emotionally invested this season as I did last season. But I basically went back, watched season 1 of USA, and I watched 5 and 6 of UK on Hulu.
5 is good. 3 is also really good in the UK.
Yeah. So that's where I am. Haven't watched anything else. Haven't watched any Australia. I am excited for Nigeria at the end of the year. I believe it's coming out in the fall sometime. So.
Did you watch the last year's Nigeria?
Was it? I thought it was South Africa.
Maybe there was rumors about Nigeria and it was South Africa. Yes, you are correct.
So I didn't watch South Africa, but I'm gonna attempt to watch Nigeria.
Oh, sorry. We have friends here. Thanks, BB.
Hi, BB.
Channel a like. Yes, you are, BB. Tomorrow, I will be talking about Big Brother with Josh from Couch Potato Queens about the shenanigans of the feed. So I know that you are a Big Brother lover. So join us tomorrow at 6 p.m. Eastern. And if you watch South Africa Survivor, I'm going live tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern with Sarah from Entertainment. So other things that you might be more interested in. But thanks, BB. So you've gotten pretty caught up with Love Island. You know how it really goes. What do you think about the coupling of Will and Kyra? They're kind of all lovey-dovey, and you give me butterflies. And
I was really happy that Will chose Kyra and didn't try to go another way, because I really do think they could be a really sweet couple if he focuses. I think Kyra seems already all in, just based off of attraction. What I'm worried about is that Will is all in now, but might not be all in as they continue, because there's going to be more beautiful girls that come in. So that's my only concern. I think I have him down as sweet. He's genuine, and he seems like a really great guy. I'm just worried about, is he going to, just the whole temptation factor for him.
So there's a rumor going around that they actually know each other. I don't think they met in person, but before the show started, that they've been interacting on social media. Like he's like,
I saw that he had followed her, or she had followed him, and they were kind of talking back and forth. And I don't know, like, who knows? Maybe she had a video or a photo go viral, and he followed her. If that's the case, even better, because then maybe they will actually build a relationship, because on this show, it's like the connection, you just don't know if it's going to actually last through. I doubt that it's a case of they've already had a relationship, like a solid relationship before this. So
yeah, I totally am with you. I feel like I want to see how their relationship progresses. Before Will came into the house, I didn't really see Kyra having that much of a personality. And so like, I like that she's just like really wants to get into something with him, and you're seeing her open up a little bit. He's very, 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 very good looking. Obviously accents are very attractive. He's tall, dark, handsome. And he doesn't seem to be afraid to show his affections, and that's what a lot of women just want, guys to let them know that they are interested in them. And so he's doing it right, in my opinion, right now.
I agree. He's definitely doing it right. Hi, CJ.
CJ, thanks for joining us. How are you enjoying Love Island episode 3? So yeah, Sarah. I have butterflies. I'm really excited by you. You're a unique beauty. I just wants to hug and protect. He wants to hug and protect her. And what she said, though, what I thought was interesting is that she's the opposite of most of the women that he is used to dating. So what kind of women do you think he's used to dating? I was trying to figure out like what his type is, or his usual type, because she seems like it would be her.
Yeah, I was a little confused on that, and that's why I'm concerned with the temptation factor, because I was like, I would think he would be drawn to a more Kyra type, even down the road, a more Amy type, just dark features. But it seemed like he was really interested in Shannon as well, and I wasn't understanding it. So other than that, it's possible that's his normal type. Shannon, the blonde, and I would say conventionally beautiful, might be just who he tends to get or date. But I'm really glad that he didn't play it safe and go towards Shannon.
Me too. I think that, we talked about it yesterday about the fact that Will was afraid to approach Shannon because of the connection that she has with Josh. And I do think that's probably one of the reasons why he just didn't even bother going down that direction. He didn't want that drama. He knows he can get Kyra without that big of a kerfuffle, like Kyra likes him, he likes Kyra. Corey's going to let him have it. So I think he just went the path of least resistance. So CJ says Love Island season 3 is great. Will and Kyra are the number 1 couple for now, I think. I agree with you for the number 1 couple. I would say Will and Kyra, then Shannon and Josh, I guess, even though we don't know what's going to happen at the end of this episode. Well, we kind of do. And I would you say Cinco and Cash right next?
Cinco and Cash. For me, Cinco and Cash are top 1 right now. I actually really love, as you said with Kyra, I feel like her personality did not shine until Will walked into the villa. I think with Cash and Cinco, their personality has both shined individually, which makes me absolutely love them as a couple. And then just to see their interactions together, with him being kind of like flustered, talking to Cash and not being able to get words out and really trying to impress her. I was really, really, really excited with that connection that was made.
For sure. Like Cash is so quick and she's funny and like, you know, and she teases him and like keeps him on his toes. And I think that he really likes that. He likes like she's so confident, and I think I really love their interaction. So we'll probably talk a little bit more about it, but I don't know if they think that they're the number one couple yet because they haven't done any maybe smooching.
No, nothing. Yeah, that's it. Nothing sexual yet. But for me, chemistry wise, like that to me is chemistry, not necessarily the oh, we're all over each other, kissy goo goo kind of things, but just the interaction, the being able to talk to each other and have as in they say in the UK, banter, that kind of stuff. Yeah. I love that.
I totally agree with you. Josh is going to leave her. You think, Jordan, you're just trolling. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think Josh is going to leave him. Not willingly.
No, yeah. Unless she chooses him, then yeah. But from what we saw, it seems as though he told her like he's not interested in her. CJ, not Cinco and Cash. They're friends for now. I think they're a little bit more than friends. They haven't kissed her, but when he picked her up, after they had their conversation, he picked her up in a way that was not just platonic, I would say.
No, he could have like swept her off he could have swept her off her feet and, you know, just carried her, but he like grabbed her up.
So I think it's coming. And chemistry. I ordered her a little bit, but when they go to the dancing part, and I saw her dancing. I don't know if you saw the clip, and she's down like on the ground, like twerking. Like I was like, there's no way.
His eyes did not move. His eyes were targeted.
So she's been saying she wants a good dancer, and if he's like, you know, what I expect him, he probably has his moves. So I think that within dancing, the sexual attraction is going to come out because he's going to see something else in her that like he has an idea what she's going to be like in the bedroom.
I think with Cinco is he's very fine in my opinion. But he's also grown. And so I think it also kind of makes him guarded, which is why I'm glad he did not go for Trina, because I think they would have been more of like combustion, like they would have butt heads a little bit. And but I think he also has this just like sweet inside that with the right person he'll bring out. But I think he has all that stuff that you're looking for, because I'm going to tell you the truth. Episode 1, I was like, okay, where are the men? Let's not do this again.
I don't know why they have such a hard time finding 5 really great guys that are interested in people from all backgrounds, that have a job, that are not completely covered head to toe in tattoos. Like, I know it's hot to have a tattoo, but like too many is just not attractive in my opinion. It just seems like there might be an issue there. So I just don't know why they picked these men. I'm sorry, everybody deserves an opportunity to find love, but it just didn't feel like there was many connections that was going to be made from the first coupling.
Yeah, and I was actually really glad the way they staged it versus season 1 and season 2, where, you know, they had 2 male bombshells come in. Last season, they had Johnny come in as the bombshell. You know, he's really an OG, but he was the bombshell to choose one of the girls. And I was really glad that they actually had 2 men come in, because I feel like the 2 men that they did choose to come in actually elevated that part of the season, because I was just like if we discuss some of these men, I'm just like, what is going on? What were they thinking?
That's one of them. Let's discuss Corey. So Corey's talking to Christian. We can talk about both of them. And you know, Christian's seemingly being like the advice guy, and he's like, you know, we're only days in, just go around, talk to people. And Christian is actually mentioning that he's interested in Olivia and wants to go talk to Olivia. So I didn't really see the connection with Christian and Olivia. I've been saying, and the people that I've been chatting with have been saying that we see Christian kind of with like kind of a hippie surfer girl, you know, like that, like super laid back, chill kind of girl. Olivia doesn't seem to me like the type that would be meant for Christian. So I was surprised by that, A. And then Corey, I feel bad for him because anybody feeling rejected, I don't want that to happen. But like, he's not really bringing it.
No, he needs to get to grafting, as they say in the UK. He needs to start talking to each and every girl, because I actually like Corey. At first, I was like, he seems very cocky. I'm not with the tattoos. But then, as he's talking, he seems very sweet. He actually seems like he could be there to find somebody, but he's not putting in the work. Corey, put in the work. Get to these girls. I think you could turn a head or two. Like, do something. Don't just stand there and take this sitting down. Like, there's going to be a lot of Mr. Steal Your Girls coming in. You got to be able to hold on to somebody.
Absolutely. I mean, I just don't feel like this is an environment for Corey. None of the girls, I think, is actually his type. And vice versa. Like, I just don't think that he was a fit. And even Christian, until now, I didn't think that any of the women that were in the villa were a fit for Christian. I was just like, I don't think you got somebody here. So both of them.
I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not shocked about Christian and Olivia. I feel like he had his eye on her day one, but I think Christian is a game player. I'm not a fan of him very much. I'm side-eyeing him a lot. I think that he chose Trina to be trendy, and I think he chose her to be trendy when he really wanted to choose Olivia.
Yeah, well, they didn't really have a choice, right? They were just coupled in the end.
He did have a choice, because Olivia was open and Trina was open. When he walked in, he chose Trina.
I thought that Giovanni had the first pick.
No, he got to pick. He got to pick her. Then Giovanni came in. He picked Olivia, and then Jeremy came in and picked Trina and stole Trina from Christian. Now that brings me to my next point.
Trina chose. Sorry, I'm thinking Cash. Sorry.
No.
Sorry, yeah, you're totally right. Yes, chose Trina to be trendy. Yes. Gotcha. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. So I'm side-eyeing him a lot, and we'll talk a little bit about his conversation with the boys a little later after some of these things that have happened. But I think he's also very salty. But keep going.
Let's catch up with some of these comments. So Cinco still wants to talk to Trina. So I don't know. Might be a Caleb situation again. I think
this is not a Caleb situation. Caleb had a girlfriend coming into the villa. Like, this is it's day 2. I chose who I think I had the most connection with, but I'm still attracted to somebody else. I as long as you are upfront, I have never had a problem with that. I think that's how the game should be played. I think as long as you're open and honest. Same thing with Will. If Amy comes in and says she wants to talk to Will, and he's upfront with Kyra, which seems like he's the type of dude who would be like, I'm going to talk to her and let Kyra know. I have no problem with that. There's no reason that you should be stuck with somebody on day 2. Now, That is what happened with Johnny and Sully. And we see how that happened.
Yes, I totally agree that like they should have been open, but it's the fact that Johnny wasn't being honest with the fact that he wanted to pursue other people, that they weren't locked down, like they weren't in a relationship yet, and so it's saying that he would never do these type of things, and then going against what he said he would or would not do. So if he said like
open and honest, be open and honest about it, I have no problem with it.
100% agree. I agree. Sinatha, I'm skeptical about Cinco. I feel like he maybe try to pursue Trina as well, especially if Jeremy ends up leaving her. Ooh, we're gonna get to that too. Yeah. I think that they also know that they're on a TV show, so
anything
they kind of have to say that just to keep them relevant in the show. She said she didn't want to kiss him yet. Well, I mean, I think that maybe in her regular life she leads with sexuality too soon, and then the relationship gets cloudy, and so maybe she's trying to do things a little bit differently. Cash,
and for some women, kissing is like the ultimate intimate thing that you can do. Like I'm kind of like that, where kissing to me is very intimate, like hand holding, feeling somebody up. That's okay, but kissing, being like to somebody, it's very intimate. So maybe she's that type of person where she's like, I don't want to get that intimate with him yet. I want us to build a stronger connection.
That's what I'm feeling right now. And especially when we hear that Trina said that when she kissed him, like there was a lot of sexual chemistry. And so she might also know that when she gets in that mindset, she's not thinking as clearly. She's only thinking lust, and she seems to want to find something real. So I understand her holding back a little bit here. Jeremy's going to leave Trina. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hi, Ms. Love. Yeah, she didn't want to kiss him yet, which might be a smart move because she can make sure the sexual chemistry is there first.
I agree, Ms. Love.
Sam Lace, to Sam, I really hate Caleb. Oh, he's literally made me become skeptical of every black couple now. I'm always pessimistic. Hey, man, so are we.
Yeah, I literally had the first couple episodes. I realized I had PTSD. I also realized that I missed the villa in Vegas and Caesars, but that I think I just need to withdraw from that. But other than that, I really do feel like Caleb gave us PTSD because I feel like he really we thought he was genuine, and to know the amount of things that he did. Yes, you did it. Chantele was the only person who did not believe Caleb, and so thus did not get her heart broken. I was not one of those. I will admit my heart was absolutely broken. And so, it does give you PTSD because you want these people to find love. And especially if you're the type of, I watch these shows because I genuinely hope at some point these people I will find love. I watch Marriage at First Sight. I hope the couples work out every year. I watch Ready for Love.
But how is Chris get any better? Because Chris is like such a mess. Chris and Paige.
I will say I was one of those people that actually watched it from the very first season, and when barely people were watching it, and it has definitely changed. And I mean, it's on a cable TV, more popular cable channel. They have more money in it, so it's going to change. It's going to evolve. So you're going to get people who are coming on there for not the right reasons. Yeah. What my problem is with Love Island is this does not have to happen on Love Island. You can find black men who actually like black women. You can find
white men that like black women. You can find anybody.
Exactly. You can find anybody who likes black women. You can also find genuine men who don't have girlfriends. That obviously, is easily find outable. Before the show, like these are casting things that they could have done to make sure that these things didn't happen. So until we as reality fans see that they're doing more due diligence in the show to make sure that doesn't happen, we're gonna have PTSD, especially for black women.
Absolutely. I mean, I was rooting for Caleb and Justine. I really wanted them to do well. I just didn't feel it. I didn't see it. And I understand why people were mad at me for not wanting to buy into this love story, because it was the first time we were ever getting the opportunity to see something like this before our eyes, really. And so I'm disappointed that it wasn't that love story that we really wanted it to be, that it was a complete facade and none of that was real. I didn't want to be right. Right. And so I can totally understand why you and everybody else is just like worried about like, oh, can I trust this? Can I trust this? Because we were so wanting and willing to trust Caleb and Justine that like, I don't know. It's just like, you were just like our backs up. We're just like, I don't know if I can believe this right now. I'm just like going to tiptoe around this couple and this relationship.
Exactly.
CJ says, the Caleb PTSD is real according to Murad. Do you watch Murad? Murad Morali? Mm-hmm. I love him too. We all feel the same way, Netha. Oh my God. I think that Olivia is into Christian for now because he is her only real option, because she isn't into Giovanni and none of the other guys are interested. Yeah. Well, what do you think about Giovanni? I like him.
I at first I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this guy, but he is funny. I really like him. He has a great personality. He seems like a player. He might be a little bit of a player, but he actually seems like a player with a heart of gold. Like he if he finds somebody, he's going to treat them very nicely. He is with the wrong person. He feels like he's with the right person because he understands her, but he like during episode 3 when they were talking and he was telling her about himself and like kind of like spilling his insights to her, and I'm like, he is talking to the wrong girl. He needs to not be telling her this. Like, and then she went and talked to Christian and said, "Oh, I'm definitely with you." I was like, "Oh my gosh, why? Well, I'm like, can we get Giovanni out of Olivia's orbit, please?"
Well, I mean, it's probably because Olivia lives from Alaska. I don't know what the Black population is in Alaska, but I don't assume that it's a very large one. And so I don't think that he has familiarity with dating. I don't know if he's Black or mixed Black, like half Black, half white. Like, I'm not sure what his background is.
He said during the episode that his family is, I think he's Dominican or some sort of Afro-Latino, possibly, or mixed. So, yeah.
Well, and so I just don't know if she's familiar with being attracted to somebody like him. And not that it's her fault, and I don't think she's racist, but like, if you've never really dated somebody outside of your race, you're most likely not going to find them attractive, you know. That's or if true. You don't have friends, or if you don't have friends who have dated people outside, you know what I mean? If it's not part of your world and part of your culture, you just don't recognize their attractiveness. Like, if you went and lived in any country in the world for a couple of years, you would start finding people of a different background attractive. You know what I mean?
Right. That's true. So that's very, very true.
Not attracted to Giovanni because he's just unfamiliar territory, and Christian is a more familiar look that she could get into. And so I kind of feel bad because I personally, if I were to go in the villa, I think that I would choose Giovanni because he's tall. He has a little bit of edge with not too many damn tattoos. He's very funny. He's easygoing. And he looks to me like somebody that is trying to make a connection right now.
I agree. I definitely agree. At first, I was like, especially from his bio, I was like, I'm not sure. But since seeing him on screen, he seems very like upfront and fun. Lots of fun.
Yep. Exactly. Coming down the slide, I was just like, look at you doing too much. But like,
yeah. But sometimes, you know, if you're in this type of experience, that's what you need. You need somebody who's going to just do crazy stuff and you be either crazy with them or be like, you know what, you're crazy, but I love it, you know?
And in most circumstances, I'm sure that he has tons of women all over him. So he's probably not really used to the girl that he's choosing not be into him pretty much at all. Like, she's just not into him.
I think I had that note for him and for Shannon that I think in any other room, they would both be the most gorgeous, prettiest people in the room, and so they're not used to the fact that they're not necessarily. Oh wait, no, sorry. I had that for Corey and Shannon. That I feel like they're a little bit insecure.
Both are kind of a similar look, would say.
Yeah. I think it's not a thing for them that they're not the first person that people are going to be running to.
Yeah, it's like I've definitely had that feeling maybe once in my life, not about like being attractive, but not getting along with people. I usually am pretty good in any sort of room, like being able to make a friend. Like I've moved to cross country a few times, so like I'm fine with making new friends. I don't remember the scenario specifically, but I just remember one time I really wasn't connecting with anybody in like a big group of people, and I felt for the ostracized, and I was like, whoa, and like people didn't like gravitate towards me. I'm like, what's happening here? So it does feel very, very unfamiliar, and it would shake me up if that was my experience up until being in the villa. So
right.
I feel bad for Shannon because she's getting a little bit of a rude awakening here.
Yeah, she is. And I found out last night, I think it was, that she was a cheerleader. So you know that she's really used to being Miss Popular, you know, and she probably has the personality for it. But I think it really is shaking her that all these women are gorgeous. I'm not just the gorgeous one. And so what personality do I have to bring? And I'm not sure she's bringing it.
I actually really like her. We'll probably talk about it a little bit more, but I feel like her and Cash have a really good relationship. Like their friendship that seems to be growing. Like I don't know if you've noticed it, but before they were going to bed and they're just talking about like, you know, sleeping beside men, and she's like Cash is like pretending to like, you know, lying like spooning and like backing her butt up, you know, and then you see like Shannon doing the same thing, standing up. Like they're just like giggling and laughing, and I feel like they have a good friendship that's kind of jokey and fun. And so I like.
Yeah, Shannon's definitely. I think Shannon's definitely a girl's girl in that. I think because even the way she took the date last night, she could have freaked out. I think she had the right amount of upsetness about it, but I think she really is not the type of person, I don't feel like, to be like in competition. What I'm worried about is her personality dimming as things go along.
I don't think it will, because I think that men are still going to come into the villa and be interested in her. She'll get her power
definitely. back. No, it's definitely. So it behooves Josh to figure out if Shannon is the person he wants to take to the end, and he's going to stick. I think he needs to either stick by that and figure that out early, because I think somebody's going to steal his girl.
And someone that's like a little bit more like manly, a little bit more like, this is my girl. Like
she was looking at Cinco like, and then she was looking at Will like.
Well, that's the thing. Like, well, Will is a professional athlete, but what is he? Baseball? Not professional or semi-professional. I don't know what he said that he's an athlete.
Yeah,
I thought not Will. I mean Josh. I said Will. Josh.
I don't remember.
I think he's baseball. But Cinco, she's probably used to football guys. You know what I mean? She was a cheerleader. She probably knows the guys on the football team, and like maybe in college, she just hung out with the ball guys, you know? And so Cinco might be more her speed. She probably gets how to be the trophy girlfriend and like have that guy like take care of her and like show their bravado and their masculinity and like, this is my woman type thing. So she probably is interested in Cinco's hyper masculinity, and Josh is kind of soft comparatively. So I don't think
he said college. It says college athlete, but it doesn't say what kind. But yes, I agree. I think that's she's used to being the power couple. You know, she's used to being the power couple, and I think that's how she's gonna move. And Josh better move with her, or he's gonna let it left out.
Soft.
I don't know. To me, he seems sweet, but it's like emphasis on the seams. Like there's something missing for me. Something is not right there, and I'm not sure what it is yet. Yeah,
it's a personality.
Yeah, it might be that. It might be that.
What do you think of the date between Jeremy and Trina? So they get a date and they are going to go roller skating, which I thought is not a very romantic date to have, because it's, unless you're very good at it, but like, you know, with the head helmet and our elbow pads and the knee pads, it's just like not very sexy.
And this is where I missed Vegas. I missed the Strip. I would have rather them be out in the desert somewhere, you know, with riding a camel. What was that date?
I don't know what
Skating?
that
I
date
don't
was.
feel like that was like for either of their personality. I don't know what that
No.
was. It
No,
was
and like what
weird.
she was wearing wasn't really good for that, and like it just was like I've been roller skating before. I remember I was working at a clothing store like 15 years ago, and part of the promo was to like ride up and down like the street wearing like old school 70s outfits with like knee-high socks and like the skates, and like it was cute and fun. So if they had made them maybe dress up like that,
Right.
like a set like 70s like skating in like the disco, like maybe it was that, and even if it was like a disco like in a skating rink. I was
Rink.
gonna do
Yeah,
that for my
if it was
birthday.
a skating, like a private skating rink, and then they in the middle of the floor they had them have drinks, and I think that would have been nice. But I wasn't a fan of the ambiance at all. And
Right?
then it kind of, I feel like it kind of bred into the conversation that they had. It was just stale, and I mean, but to another point, Jeremy was like he was going to go in there and tell Trina that
To
he,
cool it.
does not want to be serious, but he really didn't. So
I
I
don't
think
know what's going on with him,
me
really.
neither.
So I guess we're kind of mixing two conversations. So the one thing I wanted
Right.
to mention though about them is that she's asking like how it would feel. I don't know if it was on the date or if it was before the date. It's if like they got the opportunity to go to the hideaway, would they want to do that? They also were having a little bit of a makeout session under the covers, and that got a little bit more sexually heated. And that's kind of where he was coming in, being like, we kind of went too far, and I want to like slow down a little bit.
And I
But
feel
she,
like it was the opposite. Like I feel like, was it that he was upset that they didn't go far enough? Because what he's saying is not making any sense. Now it's, you guys almost went too far, but now you're saying you guys live on opposite ends of the US, and that you can't see yourself being serious with her. So what changed from last night when you almost did it?
I'm so confused by him. He does say that he came to make a connection and not just to be sexual. Okay, that's
Which is
fine if you
fine.
want to like hold back a little bit. Like that's totally fine. And it doesn't seem like that is her. Like she only feels comfortable, it seems, being sexually like intimate with somebody.
Which is also
though,
fine. Which is
but
also
she doesn't want
fine.
to be vulnerable. I think that that's what's scaring him. Maybe is that like he doesn't want just sex. He wants the vulnerability, and he doesn't know if Trina is the one that's going to be able to go there.
Okay, if that's
Maybe.
the case, then I agree, because I do feel, that's what I have down for Trina. I said I'm not sure about her because she seems guarded to me. She does. She does seem a bit guarded. I don't feel like we're seeing the real Trina yet.
Me
That said,
she has to be just like a mask that she puts on. Obviously, she's gorgeous. I love that she has a strong profession, that like she's her own person. But it seems as though she's putting on a little bit of a confidence act. I think that she got offended that Cinco didn't actually pick her. She says to him like, "Oh, well, when he didn't pick me, I was relieved, actually." And you're like, "Were you really? Or were you was your ego bruised a little bit because you're used to being, well, let's say, the prettiest black girl? You know what I mean? Or maybe like because like he chose another black woman, and maybe she's not used to that, because I would assume that she's probably top out of any race in a room. She's
right.
quite stunning, and so she's probably
to
really
that point, I am very, and I want to point this out. I'm sure you probably talked about it the last two episodes, but I am very happy that Cash went with her shaved head. And as somebody who was
good.
sick, I got sick a few years ago, and I actually had to shave off my hair, and now I'm letting it grow out. You do want that. You want somebody who will love you regardless, especially as a black woman, regardless of what your hair looks like, because it's not always going to be put together. And I actually feel like her bald head actually enhances, when she was wearing the bald head and the hoops, it actually enhances all the Cash's features. So Yes, I'm
Yeah,
sure
I
Trina
think
is
she looks good in
absolutely.
Tanya.
Yeah, I'm sure she's absolutely used to being the most beautiful black girl in the room. But I think Cash is giving her a run for her money. I think Cash is versatile, and then her personality shines through. And what is Trina's downfall right now is that she's guarded, and I don't think Jeremy's being honest with her.
True. Totally agree. I do feel bad a little bit for Trina because I think that she thinks that Jeremy is more into her than he actually is. I do think that she's going to get a rude awakening, and then there's going to be some tears that come, and she's not going to see it coming. She's not going to know what hit her when everybody, well, at least the guys and Jeremy know that he's just not that into her. So maybe he's going to come around because he is attractive, but he doesn't really have a personality where I think that everybody's going to be stepping forward for him or like choosing him to go on a date. He doesn't really have that for me.
No.
And it would be only if the producers are like, hey, like choose Jeremy.
Do this.
You know what
do
I mean?
This. Yeah.
So he might stick with her just like by default. So we talked a little bit about them, Jeremy and Trina making out in bed. In the morning, though, I thought that it was so funny when Cash was like, wait, so his thingy is a thing?
Hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. I love Cash.
I need to put that in the thumbnail. His thingy is a thing.
Oh my gosh. Absolutely hilarious. But I was like, oh my gosh. Cash, that's one way of putting it. But yeah, I just felt like if you got to that point and then you're going to say that, oh, that's not what I want. So if she had gotten further, would you still have been like this? I just, and for Love Island, like, I have no problem if you're being intimate. I feel like you should save it for the hideaway, though. Like, that's not fair to your castmates for you to be doing it in the common room.
Well,
but
I don't know if you saw season, what season was it? It might have been 3. The season, everybody was having sex in the same room at the same time as everyone. Definitely season 1, they did it. Was it season 2? Maybe season 2. But they used to all just like be having sex at the same time with their couples in the bed, in like next bed.
I can't. I cannot do it.
In the UK, in the States, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not. So Olivia and Christian had a conversation. This is what you were talking about a little bit, and saying that there's something here, like I really want to pursue it. And so that's kind of becomes a theme of the episode for them, is that they want to pursue whatever's going on between the two of them. But Giovanni hasn't seemed to got the memo
at all. And this is the thing. He said, me and Olivia know where each other is at. We know what we're about. We know what we're doing, and we're honest with each other. And I'm like, dude, she is not honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Not at all. And she doesn't even communicate that well. Like when someone's into you, and she's not giving any signal that she's into him.
Anything.
Nothing.
And I feel like she has been emoting that she likes Christian.
Hi, I'm Jordan. Who's been in some of my chats just like you, and she said that she wanted to cover this with me. So I said yes, and she said yes, and here she is. So you'll be seeing a lot more of Tamika as long as she wants to come back.
Yes, I will.
Yay! So let's try to catch up on some of these comments. So Naomi's camp, but she kissed Christian in the challenge, though. They're giving me siblings vibes right now.
Is that Olivia? Did she?
Which challenge? What challenge do we have this episode?
They didn't have a challenge this episode. They only had the one challenge. The last one. I see. That's the thing. I don't remember. I was a little hopped up on medication. I don't remember who kissed who.
Here somewhere. Okay, they're dressed in the Aristocats outfit. Hold on.
Yeah.
Christian kissed Olivia. Okay, so it's the sex tape question. Christian kissed Olivia, and it was actually Shannon.
Oh.
So
yeah, I think that's what was giving me. That's why I said I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked about him going after Olivia. I think he always wanted Olivia, but I think he chose Trina to be trendy. Oh, thank you,
Woo!
CJ.
Oh my god, we are totally this is a Murad standing household podcast. Like, I love Murad. I've been watching him since I started watching Love Island. My mom actually told me about him, and like I started watching years ago when he had like not that many subscribers. So I'm so happy to see him grow so much. He's one of my favorites to listen to.
I agree.
I love Giovanni
CJ.
to listen to.
I agree.
Sorry?
I don't know why he didn't talk to Cash. I don't think he's her physical type. I think she stated that. She seemed to go for the Jeremy and the Cinco, who are more, buff. But I actually think they could have good personality together.
Yeah, but it might just end up being friend zone because they both are too jokey. I just don't see her being like, her jokey is flirty with Cinco, and it's a little bit like a sexual undertone. I don't see her having a sexual undertone with Giovanni.
Yeah.
Can I take him seriously? I take him a little bit more seriously after the conversation he had with Olivia, where he was opening up a little bit. Like, and she was a little bit surprised when she's like, "Oh, I didn't expect that from you." And he's like, "Oh, really?" Like, he kind of was taken aback by how he might come across sometimes. And so I hope that someone comes in that he could allow himself to just like open up and really connect with. Like, I want him to be someone's type.
Yeah, I agree.
So Josh is a bit boyish still. He doesn't like to, feel like a full man in comparison to some of the other guys. Yeah, exactly. He doesn't, he doesn't have that. He's just kind of like a high school boyfriend.
Hold on one
This date
second.
was horrible and very cringe. The conversation seemed forced to me. I know. It was bad. It was bad. And why did they like trade each other's drink to like to suck on? I'm like, there's straws and her lipstick on the straw. And I feel like he was like, I didn't want to put the lipstick on my mouth. Definitely that date was cringy, cringe. Trina's moving too fast, in my opinion. Men always love the chase. Absolutely, CJ. She isn't playing it right. She thinks she has Jeremy on lock. She thinks that her being beautiful and they're in the villa and they're supposed to be looking for love and that he can't really go anywhere. I think that she is moving too fast. I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh, Cash is stunning with her shaved head. I think anybody that can pull off a stage head can model. Like, they're just like, it looks so good. I think when the people can pull them off, like, it just looks so. And, well, then people that do shave their heads, they can always pull it off because they're like, they have that confidence. And so I love personality. Love her look way better than with Tanya.
Like Chelsea from The Bachelor. Just the total difference between her shaved head, in her modeling, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous.
She wasn't even. I didn't even think she was cute with her hair. Like, I was like, but like with her shaved head, I'm like, she's so gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
So yeah, I think it's so happy that she did that because I was like, wow, like stunning. So we already talked a little bit of Giovanni and Olivia. Talked about their date. One thing when Tina was getting ready for the date, though, I also loved, you already mentioned that Shannon is a little bit of a girl's girl. Like, she's hyping up Trina, helping her tie her shirt and her outfit. I wish she made Trina wear a cuter outfit because no offense to her clothing, but like, it's just like a
fan. I wasn't a fan. Jeans. I don't know what she was thinking. Like, I just feel like I don't know. I don't know what that was.
Here up, stunning, but from here down, I was like, choices.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan. That and some of the pieces that Trina's worn so far have been fine. So I was a bit confused. I don't know if it was that maybe they didn't tell them where they were going, or maybe they told them where they were going and she wanted to be relaxed and with the skating. I don't know, but I wasn't a fan of the choice.
Not a cute look at all, in my opinion. So Jeremy, though, before their date, said that he's never, he was nervous because he's never been on a great date. And so I'm wondering if Jeremy's actually just nervous of getting involved and getting into a relationship, and he's just like holding back.
That was my thought, because he did say that he hasn't been in many relationships. I think he said he's been in like one or two, that he's constantly looking for the one, and that's why I'm like, what are you looking for? Because I'm not sure if what happened between him and Trina scared him, or if he's just saying that to say that. That is what I'm not getting across from Jeremy yet.
Or what do you think? Maybe he's not used to a woman that's so in control-ish, that he's pretending like he's not that into her. So if she does get stolen by someone else, he doesn't look like the schmuck.
This is also possible. Right now, there's any number of possibilities, because I'm not getting from Jeremy anything that tells me what his ultimate goal is. Not even like I'm getting from Christian, he wants to win. I'm not even getting from Jeremy that he wants to win yet. Like I'm not getting it yet. I'm not getting that the next bombshell that comes in, Jeremy's ready and willing to turn his head. Like I'm not getting any of that yet.
Me neither. So yeah, I don't know what his MO is. Hopefully he's just like guarding himself because he doesn't want to be too invested in a relationship, just in case she's not actually that into him and a guy comes in and like steals her away, and though he'll look like a dummy. So he could just be, protecting himself a little bit. He says to her that he doesn't mind doing long distance. And he says to the boys that, like, that's what broke up his previous relationship. So, like, what is it? Like, are you willing to do that? Because after her date, Trina was like, yeah, he said that he's willing to do long distance with me.
And I'm like, dude, why are you lying? Why are you not telling her the truth? You literally told the boys that you don't see anything really serious coming between the two of you, because I'm not sure one lives in New York and one lives in LA. And my whole thing is that's the biggest thing. Like, if you don't see you guys even being able to work out a long distance relationship, why are you making it seem like to her that that's even a possibility?
Exactly. It's day 3 or whatever. Like, you don't have to be lying this much. Like,
no, not at all. Like, you could literally say, well, the long distance thing for me is not really something I would want to do, but it's day 2 or 3. Let's see if we even have a connection. And then it would be on Trina to decide if she wants to invest herself. And then she comes back from the date and she's already like, I don't think I want to see any other guys. I'm like, Trina, no.
I'm like, oh boy. Trina is going to get heartbroken, I think.
And the funniest part I thought about it was when he came back and talked to the boys, that how Christian was like, oh yeah, you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. I was like, Christian, you're just salty that he took your goal. That's it. I'm like, you're still salty that he took Trina from you from day one. Nothing you say should be taken with any type of seriousness.
So true. But I do not see Trina and Christian together at all. I do see her and Jeremy. They do look good together. Like, I can see them doing. So
yeah, when he walked in, I was like, just from the way that she was moving with the other boys, I was like, no, Jeremy's going to be her type. And so when she stepped forward for him, I was not shocked, because he does seem like her type, her physical type.
Yeah. I thought that Josh and Shannon were having kind of a cute little moments and cute little kisses. I do think that she's doing a good job with, like, seemingly being vulnerable. And it's kind of like with girls that are bombshells like her, that are used to getting all the guys, they really don't have to give that much. And the guys are just like, like, so right. I think that she's doing a good job of getting Josh to be obsessed with her. And it's working. Definitely.
Yeah, I think so too. That's why I said I think she has Josh on the hook. I think she long term, she's willing to see what happens. I think what it's going to come down to is Josh has to show his personality, because otherwise she's going to ditch him, and nobody else is going to pick him.
He might get picked though, just because, like, he's that all-American kind of, like.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
It's not my thing, but
yeah, it's not my type.
I think that Jeremy is being honest. Really, he straight told her on the date he's not looking for something serious. She just wants to. She wasn't trying to hear it.
But that's not what he told the boys. He said that he's looking for something serious. So which one is it? That's what I'm saying. There's no reason to lie this much.
I don't know what. Gosh. I take back what I said in the first episode about Jeremy giving me Connor vibes.
I agree, Natalia. I agree. I said the same thing. He gives me Connor vibes, but not Connor vibes. Connor vibes in that I don't think he, kind of like what Chantele said, he's not used to like a strong, dominant woman. But I don't even know if he knows what he wants. Because I think that's what it ultimately came down to for Connor. I don't think he knew what he wanted until the end because there were so many people coming through.
Yeah, and he's not experienced in relationships. So now though, Netha, I do see more what you meant by the Connor vibes. Because like me, for the Connor vibes, I'm thinking that he's kind of like Colton, in the sense that he didn't know what he was interested in because maybe he would be interested in men more. So that's kind of what I was thinking about with Connor. And so I don't think about that with Jeremy. But I think that all three have in common is the fact that they are unsure with what they want in a partner. Therefore, they're kind of coming off as like just empty and like soft,
indecisive, and
I don't know, just
passive.
not, doesn't make any much sense.
Yeah. Which is ultimately not attractive.
Sorry, guys. I think I have to, like, I'm at my mom's house, and so I'm upstairs, but I think I need to jump onto the internet that's upstairs as well. Sorry, my internet's being wonky. Okay, so, but what does that even mean? Why is he on the show if he ain't looking for anything serious? I don't get it. I don't really get it either. I just wish that he was just a little bit more honest. I don't know if he's trying to make drama and just trying to make a storyline about himself, but it's like, you're on the show, you have a girl that's interested in you, you're making out with her, you're going there, the show's recognizing that you're in a couple, you're going on dates, you're saying that, you know, you'd be willing to travel cross country to be in a relationship with her, and then you're saying something completely different to the guys. Just stick to one story. She'll be okay with it. She will deal with it. Just be honest is what your theme for the season is. Just be honest.
Agreed.
Exactly. Hi, Miss. So Jerry should say all the things that he says to the guys to Trina, directly, instead of being so contradictory. Exactly. Then they'd be on the same page, which is only fair. Exactly. Wishy-washy. Not good. I think Jeremy is contradicting himself. He said he wasn't looking for something serious when he came first in, and now he says that he doesn't. Exactly. You can just say that he's not that into Trina, if that's the case. Like, he doesn't have to pretend like he's not into a relationship. Just say that he's not into Trina.
But I'm not getting that he's not into Trina either. Are you getting that? Like, that he's just not into Trina? I don't.
Not fully. I've seen people that have been not into somebody before, and I'm like, yeah, he doesn't like you. Like, I think he's just confused.
Right. That's how I feel. I feel like he's just confused. I don't feel like it's that he's not into Trina.
Okay, so not looking for something serious with her and not right away after the show. You can be looking for love without wanting to rush into things. Being on the show is a way to meet people, I think. Okay, like it's kind of like meeting someone at your job, you know, like you're meeting someone on Love Island. I can see that. So he's being realistic about it. Yeah. You can be realistic about it. Be like, hey, I don't know if we should talk about like outside the villa. That's like 6 weeks from now. Like, let's just stay in the moment with where we are right now and see how our relationship grows, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Jeremy. Jeremy is showing hardly any personality. Definitely does not have good banter. Banter? Like, there's no banter in his vocabulary.
There's no banter.
All he is a set of dimples and long hair.
Yeah, pretty much.
I might be frozen. I'm sorry if I am.
You're here. You're here. I can hear you. We can hear you. Can you hear me? Oh no, now you're frozen again. I agree. Jeremy is definitely boring. And he is definitely handsome. Chantele, can you hear us? Chantele?
Can you guys hear me at all or no?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Tamika, can you?
I can hear you. Can you not hear me?
Pardon?
Can you hear me?
Because that whatever happens. It might be frozen a little bit every once in a while. Who knows? So CJ was saying that Jeremy is boring, but perfectly handsome, which is true. Connor from Love Island season 2 that was dating Mackenzie. What do we think about Christian? I think Christian is a little bit of a game player, as most of us have kind of figured with him. He wants to stay in the villa. He seems to be giving all the advice to the guys. It's probably because he feels jealous that he's not really in a relationship with anybody. But he's making his move on to Olivia for good reason.
Yes, and men do not take his advice. Christian is not bringing anything to the table that y'all need to be listening to.
Connor from last season, who was with Mackenzie, yes. And I completely forgot about him. I was thinking about UK Connor. I don't remember which UK Connor, who that is. I almost remember who they are. Yeah, I'm just like.
Oh, I think I remember Connor, Sophie Connor. Yeah, Sophie Connor.
The big guy with the muscles?
I think so. There's a couple of Connors actually, but from the UK.
I'd have to go back and look at them and be like, oh, right. Yes. I can see.
Yeah. M. Jordan said Sophie's Connor.
Okay. Yes, I know who that is for sure. Oh my God, Sophie, rest in peace. I'm sorry. So Trina and Cash have a little bit of conversation. And this was, I think, was a good conversation for Trina to have. So hopefully she opens up because she's realizing in the villa that she doesn't like to show vulnerability. And Cash kind of mentions that how good it is because that she has another black woman in the villa because they don't really usually have great experiences in these type of situations. So at least each other who knows what they're going through and like how they're sharing a similar experience. So I am happy that they have each other in the villa.
True.
So she's wearing Tanya tonight. They all kind of had matching outfits. They're kind of little cute kitty tots with sarongs, and I think they probably had a flower in their hair. They kind of were dressed Hawaii inspired, I believe.
Yeah.
I thought they looked really cute. I love when everybody dresses up. Like that's my favorite part about being on the show is dressing up.
Yeah, I love that. I love that Cash brought out Tanya. And had the flower in her hair, which ended up on Cinco, which I thought was so cute. But I loved all their outfits and that they coordinated themselves together, which is why I was so confused about Trina's earlier outfit. But yes, I absolutely loved what they did for the night party.
The night party was great, and I looked at, I'm like, Cash said that she could dance and likes to dance, and she can dance. I was like, they should have just had a whole segment of Cash dancing because like she looked good. And like guys, if anyone can dance, they're going to be attracted to them. You know what I mean? Like there's something about it that you're just like, just memorize. You got to take it in. Not that she's a stripper at all, but that's why people love going to strip clubs. It's like that whole fantasy, the dancer, and like it's like it's this personality that's different from who you know them as. And so I really like that she was just getting down and dancing with her fire self. So they're taking photos, and then somebody got a text. One of the women got a text. And it says, Josh, are you up for a dip? Come join me in the
I thought it was
hot tub.
I thought it was Josh himself because
Did he?
he was taking pictures. Yeah, he was taking pictures of the girls, and he was holding up the camera, and he got the text. The text to come
From
up.
Amy.
Yes.
And okay, I thought the funniest insert of a clip was they're like looking around for where the hot tub is, and then you see the picture of her hand like waving. It almost looks like Night of the Living Dead when the hand comes out of the grave or something.
I was like, that is scary. But good to know there's a hidden hot tub because I'm sure that they're going to be using that.
Mm-hmm, absolutely. I don't know if they can have access to it or not, but I thought it was very funny, the hand thing, and the fact that they can kind of see where they are, but they can't see what they're actually doing.
Yeah.
So Shannon is already bothered, though, because as we talked before, we know that she's not used to not being the best looking girl and the one that's getting the most attention. So she's a little bit upset. She's not really showing it that much, but like we could tell that she's bothered. Then we meet Amy. She's 26. She's a private chef from LA. She's stunning, definitely a beautiful woman. Loves the bougie life, though. So this might not necessarily be that attractive to some of the men in the villa, like the super bougie woman that I'm on a private jet all the time. Like it's a little bit, it might not be what some of them are interested in.
But she did say that she could live on a farm with her somebody for the rest of her life and be okay with that too. I'm not sure I believe her, but that's what she
yeah, exactly. I don't know if I believe her either. It's why like glamping. You know what I mean? Live on a farm.
I was like, I don't know if I can live on a farm with my somebody for the rest of my life. And I know I'm not that bougie. So
So Josh goes and joins them. She's not looking for friends. Sorry, that's one thing that she said. She's not looking for friends. She's looking for a relationship, which could be a problem. That means she's going to go in and take anybody's guy. If she feels it, she's going to take it, and it doesn't matter about the girl. Like she's not looking for friends. So that's worrisome. But when Josh goes, he gets in there and they meet and he pours some champagne and she tells him that she's from Mexico and talks about where her parents are from with a little bit of a Spanish accent. And she was just like, oh, you have an accent? Like, you know, she's definitely, when she was speaking in Spanish or like she was pronouncing things with the Mexican accent, she definitely, hotness went up even more because I was like, okay, you are hot. So
my comments was gorgeous, great bombshell. I'm glad they brought her in when they brought her in. I agree with you that her not being able to navigate, friendships might be an issue. She kind of reminds me, and it has absolutely nothing with them being Latina, but of Cher, because I feel from last season, because I feel like Cher was very much the same way, which she's friends with everybody, but her ultimate goal was to steal somebody's guy, which works in Casa Amor situation. I don't know if it necessarily works in a Bombshell situation. I've never seen it work in a Bombshell situation because at some point you gotta vote. And you're going to get a vote. And if people think that you're really there just to play a game, they're not going to want to vote for you because they're not thinking that you're going to be making long-lasting relationships. So while I'm very here for the drama of Amy coming and trying to steal a man, she's going to have to settle herself down at some point and choose one and stay with him.
Yes. I think that she's not going to have any trouble. I think she's going to have her pick. I think everybody's going to be like, I'm available, especially Corey. And Jeremy probably will be. I don't think she'll choose any of them. I think that if she's going to choose somebody, it would be like Cinco. It would be
Cinco, Will.
And Will. Those are the three that I would see her potentially choosing.
Who was the other third person you said?
Will.
No, before you said Cinco, Will, and who else?
Josh. I think she.
You think Josh?
I don't think she'll actually choose Josh because in their conversation he said that he's already coupled up with Shannon and things are going well. So I don't think that she's going to want to bother trying to get in there when their relationship's so strong,
solid. Yeah, I don't think she's going to want to mess with Josh. I could see her going for Will and Cinco. First of all, they're the newest couples. I have to see more of her personality, but yeah, I agree with you. I think Cinco and Will.
The last conversation that I wanted to talk about was Shannon and Cash talking, and Shannon was just feeling a little bit insecure, but talking to Cash, who I feel like is her best friend in the house.
Yeah.
And what I love that Cash said is she's like, we are all attractive, but she isn't you. And she was just like, yeah, she isn't me. And like, I liked that she was reminding her of that. And I'm sure that's like something that Cash brought into her own life, being like, hey man, I know what I bring to the table. If they're into somebody else, they're not into me. And that has nothing to do with like my soul. You know, it's something that they're looking for in somebody else that they like that. And so I like that she shared that with Shannon. I think Shannon took it to heart and was like, yeah, she's not me. Like, what we have is unique. Like, I can't be replaced. And if he's into her more, that's because she has something that I don't have that has nothing to do with me being not as amazing as I am. So
and that's why you need these girl friendships, because at the end of the day, there's going to be points where you're going to be at the lowest point because you're going to be out of. So right now, Amy's in control. There's going to be a point where you're going to be out of control of the situation, and you're going to need somebody to bounce that off of. And I'm glad that, even with Cash and Trina was having really good conversations with Cash, and I don't think they're as close as Shannon and the Cash, but she was even there for Trina to tell her, like, if that's what you want, that's what you should do. And I think that also helped Trina in her decision making. While I don't agree with the decision, but that is definitely what you need, because you're never going to know if what you're feeling is where you should be going.
Exactly. So I'm here for the Amy drama, though I wanted to see who she actually picks. If she's going to go on another date with somebody else, or if it's going to be Josh, and then she's going to be introduced to the other guys in the villa. So I am here for. I guess it won't be until tomorrow night.
Yeah. So it's tomorrow night. I haven't looked to see if it's 1 or 2 hours.
Ooh, I don't know if you do 2 hours like this early in the season.
I don't know. They're not on Monday.
Oh, really? Okay. So if Olivia and Christian couple up, they will be there till the end, I think, says Remember Moira season 2. Yeah, you're probably right. It might just play a game in the sense of like, let's just stick together unless we find somebody that we really, really want to pursue and just be a friend couple.
I'm not sure. I read on Twitter people are ready to dump them already, but I think it's the Christian factor. No, everybody kind of sees through Christian for who he is. So.
Poor Christian. Christian needs to focus on Christian and stop trying to give advice. Absolutely. It also seems like he's a little salty, so I wouldn't trust his advice. Definitely playing the game. Yes, Miss Love.
Agreed.
Yes. I can see Christian getting into the ears of some of the guys about their relationships, and those silly enough to listen to him will have their relationships ruined whilst he sails on with Olivia. Oh my goodness, that could be a thing. How awkward was the dance montage at the end when everyone's dancing and having fun, and they zoom in on Corey dancing alone? No, yes, they did.
Poor Matthew Hoffman going after Corey. Poor Corey. I kind of want Amy to like give him some love because I think he needs it, but I don't see it. I'm not seeing it.
Amy and Will, yeah. I mean, maybe if they're both willing to date people of Latin backgrounds. It's 2 hours.
Night is 2 hours.
Okay. I'm gonna have so much to do. Okay, we're almost done these comments. I don't think Will leave Kyra. I think that they're so strong, and I think that they want to develop that. I don't expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised if Amy went on a date with Will. Wouldn't be surprised. Hi, Kanisha.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Am I the only one that doesn't trust Will? All the men kind of seem in it for the money to me.
Really? I thought Will was the most genuine. I really do. I mean, it's a game show at the end of the day, but I don't feel like he's like, okay, so who's gonna win me $100,000? Because I mean, in that case he could have picked Shannon.
Yeah. I'm not sure about Will yet. I can see him playing a game. I can see him, but I think if he's playing a game, he's going to want to win. His best bet would be to stick with Kyra. So
Yes.
if to make out, then he's just playing a game with Kyra, like as in like he just wants to get all the win and not win the money, then maybe his head can be turned. But if he's playing a game to win, his best bet is to be loyal as F.
True.
I think that's the way he should play it. I think everyone there wants to win the money. Sorry, hey man, if I was going on that show, I wouldn't expect to be getting any love. I'd be there to win the money. I'd be putting myself in the best position to win that money, and if I fell in love, that's great.
Right. And that's what I said. I'm trying to this year remove myself from being totally invested in the coupledoms of this year, and so I've learned my lesson from last year. But I still love Justine and I love Sally and I follow them and they're amazing girls. But I'm really glad that they got their relationship.
And even Calvin. I'm liking Calvin.
And Calvin, I love Calvin. Calvin is probably, if I was gonna go for a white guy, he's definitely my type for a white guy. But he loves donuts.
Guy. He's Portuguese.
Huh?
Portuguese. He's Portuguese, so he has a little bit of flavor.
Yeah. And he seems like he's a really great friend to them. But yeah, I think if they get friendships out of this, that's a great thing. But I think we just got to look at it that everybody's there to play the game. Just who do we think out of, even if it's not forever, who is the best couple out of the couples that are there at this point?
Exactly. You got this. You got this.
Yeah.
Tanisha says it's just way too fast for me. 2 days and Will is so in love. So I
don't
don't know if
think he said he was in love.
Is that they might have known each other a little bit, or at least know of each other before moving into the villa, dating back to liking posts for at least a year, I think someone was saying. Like it's been a while back that they've known of each other's presence. So that could also be why that he's been trying to pursue her, or she's pursued him and slid into DMs and had some conversations. So they could be a little bit more advanced than just seeing each other for the first time in the villa.
Like even Mackenzie said she knew
Connor.
DeAndre.
Right. Yes.
But prior to being in the villa, like she's met him and she had talked to him before. So if they had coupled up and they met each other, it's just something that happened. It just that they weren't each other's type. But I don't think that it takes away from the game in any way. It just happens to happen. But I don't think Will said he was like so in love with Kyra. I think Kyra said she's so in love with him. What Will has said is he's very attracted to Kyra. And that is the difference, which is why I'm not sure where Will's going to go. But I do think he will be honest with her.
So isn't the best way to play a game is to stick with one person? Yes, but the one problem with that is that we, the audience, ends up voting for who wins in the end. So we have to see that you are trying to make a real relationship work in order for us to be shipping that couple.
And you have to know that it's the right person. So a lot of what happened last year was that Johnny found out. They somehow found out last year that where they were on the Twitter sphere with the couples. They knew that Johnny and Sally were popular. They knew that Caleb and Justine were popular. The boys, I'm sorry. The girls knew nothing of this because they didn't have access. And so from what we know now, they utilized that to their advantage and took that to the end. They didn't know who was going to place first or second, but that's what they took to the end. Now, in a normal case, they don't have cell service. They're usually in a remote island. They're usually in a remote place. They literally just have the texting between each other. They're not able to tap into that to be able to do that. So you have to know that this is the right person. Just because, like, Olivia and Giovanni could stay together, we don't think that they're good together. They could stay together till the end. That doesn't mean they're going to win because they're not good together. So you have to know that it's the right person for you. You have to literally be attempting to have a relationship with this person
in order for us to buy it and give you the money.
Right.
Exactly. Well, I think this was a great first discussion. Thank you so much, Tamika, for being here. I'm sure that everybody enjoyed having your presence here and your insight. It's been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. I loved your show since I found it on YouTube. So I'm really glad to be able to participate in Love Island this season. And, you know, I'm always in the comments for The Bachelorette. I actually decided I'm watching it this season. So I'm here.
Yay! Absolutely. And so if you can maybe share with us, so you have at Entertainment in Color. Do you want to maybe just let everybody know what that's all about?
Oh, so at Entertainment in Color is a business I basically came up with, which is more social media presence to really promote, I will say, actors, singers, whatever, what they're doing in entertainment so that people can support them. And this is for people of color, Black, Asian, just whatever they're doing. Because what I used to find out is I would know a lot about different shows. Like I said, I used to watch Married at First Sight for the longest time. Nobody ever watched it with me. And I watched it because there was always a person of color on the show, whereas most romantic love shows, they didn't necessarily always put in people of color into their shows. So I use it as a way to promote other people's projects so people know what's going on so that you guys can support people of color in entertainment. So I'm at Entertainment in Color on IG, Facebook, and Twitter.
Perfect. I put it for Instagram. I wasn't sure if it was for Twitter as well, so I will add that in the description box below. So everybody, please follow Tamika for that so you can know what is going on in the land of entertainment in color. CJ says, please come back, Tamika. Heart.
I will. I'll definitely be here, God willing.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm just going to do, the usual, the last little plug here is if you can, please subscribe to Reality Realnesss, send us a little like, put a little comment, tell us what you think about these couples. Do you think that there's a chance for Corey? Is he going to find love in the villa? Do you think he's going to be the next one booted? Who do you think that Amy's going to take on a date next? Just put it all in the comments, and then we will talk about it again on, I guess it would be Monday night. We'll be talking next again. So This has been amazing, and I guess we'll see you on Monday. See you next Monday.
Bye, guys.
Bye.